sweet fuck. Alright, the Fairly Odd Parents.
It's been 15 years since this show first aired, and it's still going. The story about a 10-year-old boy named Timmy Turner who has two very neglectful parents and who lives in pretty much a living hell. His babysitter tortures him, his teacher constantly berates him, he's bullied, he can never get with the popular girl, and all this led to him getting two fairy godparents named Cosmo and Wanda who will grant almost any wish he wants. And for 5 seasons, this show was really good. The humor was funny, it was really creative, and the characters certainly had their flaws, but were all still pretty likable.
Then season 6 happened, and they brought in a baby.
His name was Pooh. He was basically brought in to contrive stories together, and many people believe this is when the show jumped the shark. Then a few seasons later, they did it again by adding a dog named Sparky. And then again, 1 season later, by adding a character named Chloe. Now me, I stopped watching right after Pooh came along, so I had only heard about these seasons through word of mouth.
But when I decided to do a Fairly Odd Parents episode, I asked you guys on DeviantArt and Twitter what some of the worst post-Poof episodes are. And oh boy, you guys did not disappoint.
I got about 24 suggestions, not counting the 3 new character introduction ones, because the 2 much better and more popular animation critics already covered those, and while I did get a few surprises, I certainly got enough material to work with. Like Crocker Shocker, which basically shows that the only way Fairy World can operate is through someone's life being miserable. Or Desperate Without Housewives, which was one of the stupid and most sexist things I've seen in a while. Or Double O Schnozmo, where they just shoehorn in a brother for Cosmo 7 seasons in.
But in the end, I decided that the worst of them all was a season 9 episode called Let Sleeper Dogs Lie.
Yes, this is a post-Sparky episode, because fuck you. We open in Dimsdale in the early morning where a young Crocker is proposing to his rich supermodel girlfriend. And she accepts, but only on one condition, that he stop with his fairy obsession. So he does the sensible thing. Leaves the bitch.
Well, yeah, he has to stay miserable. After all, his misery powers Fairy World. Seriously, what the fuck, Amy Keaton Rogers?
I have every moment of my pathetic existence on tape. Mother never turned off the nanny cam after my first nanny disappeared.
Okay, so either your mother got perfect angles or the cameras aren't visible, because we did not see any cameras in that scene. So it turns out, despite his mother filming apparently his entire life, he never noticed that he had fairies until now. We of course know that he had Cosmo and Wanda as fairies from the earlier episode, The Secret Origin of Denzel Crocker, which was a great episode. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, how bad could this one be if it's reminding me of that one? Ho, just you wait.
So for my next wish, I want a magic set Laszlo and Brenda.
For the 800th time, our names are Cosmo and Wanda.
I don't care. Grant me my groovy wish.
Well, you fucked it up. You fucked it up! Seriously, what the Crocker was not an asshole as a kid, especially not to his fairies.
My life is so miserable. I don't know how I'd be able to bear it if it weren't for you two. Cosmo and Wanda. Oh, hello there, stranger. Groovy green and pink animals.
I mean, I guess you could make the argument that he decided to be nice that one day, even though there was no reason for him to do that.
What a weird coinkydink!
Denzel Crocker, today you turn 11, and as the rules state, I must now take your fairies away forever!
Oh, that's weird. Channel Chaser said Timmy would have his fairies until his teen years. And The Secret Origin of Denzel Crocker said he lost his fairies because he revealed they exist.
No! Hey, dude.
No. You cannot retcon Sparky into Crocker's past too. This isn't a coinkydink. This is cheap writing. How can Sparky have been Crocker's fairy dog at the same time Cosmo and Wanda were his fairy godparents? And how the hell did Cosmo and Wanda not recognize him? Well, I'll have a tangent on that later, but first I should explain that Crocker put a chip in Sparky's tail that will put him under Crocker's control whenever he says the secret trigger word. I guess he just wished for that because he knew this was gonna happen? I don't know.
Okay, the trigger word is under.
Ah!
The horror! Mother taped over my video with her belly dancing lessons!
Perfect family entertainment.
That was one scene! One scene, and every single frame of it was wrong! Well, let's just keep going. I mean, they can't make it any worse, right?
So Crocker tries various underphrases in front of Sparky, but he quickly falls into a bushel of thorns.
I'm stuck in this thorn bush and I'm not wearing any underpants! Underpants!
Must get Denzel Crocker's fairies.
Well, thank God no one said underpants in front of him for the past 30 years.
Thankfully, through a stupid reason, they stop him, but they do wonder what's going on. And it just so happens that Sparky has video of the time he was with Crocker. Because of course he does. And we see Cosmo and Wanda get taken away, even though that wasn't how it happened in The Origin of Denzel Crocker, but, you know, we gotta have a plot.
Magic set 2!
Denzel, I'm going to do the dance of the 7 veils. Not now, Denzel. Mommy has to run to her second job at the 8-track tape company. It's the music delivery system of the future.
Why didn't you guys say anything? We didn't remember, sport. Fairies are notorious for having bad memories.
No, you don't! You had your memories erased! I saw this happen! Why? Why do you continue to throw this bullshit in? We know what happened. You are showing you don't care.
Why do you think I call you sport all the time? I can't remember your name.
So because Crocker said underpants, Sparky takes Cosmo and Wanda to the Crocker cave. He says he's gonna drain their magic and uses Sparky to control the machine. Even though the two know the trigger word, Cosmo just continues to do stupid things. Okay, I can understand that, but why won't Wanda say it?
Fairies are notorious for having bad memories.
Ah, of course. Timmy comes to rescue them, and it basically just comes down to a shouting match between the two yelling underpants.
Underpants! The love handles!
Why did that just randomly start playing?
Oh, by the way, that's our climax.
I had the worst nightmare. You were there, and Tommy.
Timmy!
You should write that down, Brenda.
Does anybody like each other in this show anymore?
So they get the chip out of Sparky's tail, but Timmy feels bad for Mr. Crocker. Why? I mean, if he were nice as a kid, like he was in that other episode, I'd understand. But he was a complete asshole as a kid too, so why should you care? He decides to poof him up the magic set he wanted.
Speaking of poof, where was he this whole time?
Back with Crocker, his old supermodel girlfriend returns, somehow knowing this place exists. Yes, that's probably a nitpick, but you know what? I don't care. She wants to give Crocker another chance, but he refuses yet again. You know, I think Jorgen just put a spell on him after the events of Crocker Shocker that makes it so he will never give this up.
I'm gonna play with my magic hat! Why?
Underpants!
Wow! Wow, 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 wow!
I don't think I have ever seen an episode that was this much of a train wreck. Foster's Goes to Europe pissed me off more because of that mean-spirited ending, but this is just terrible writing. It tries its hardest to ruin an earlier episode, doing every single thing wrong, just so they can add Sparky in there. And at the same time, it can't stand alone because how else would Timmy know that Cosmo and Wanda used to be Crocker's fairies? It's not funny at all, the plot is stupid, the characters have completely gone off the rails. This is one of the worst things I've sat through for these reviews. It is terrible in every conceivable way.
Who is responsible for this? Who made this? I want to know. Wait a minute. There's only one person who can make an episode this bad.
Dinkleberg.
I'll get you, Dinkleberg!